all this could
Okay,
be.
we are live, Jeff.
What?
Give me a little test.
Testing. We're here live in Tavi on the beach in front of the restaurant bar.
Yes, indeedy.
So,
Okay, so let me get in the frame here
Yeah,
for all
live
our
in Tavi. It's happening.
Instagram live people. So this is really a horrible, miserable place to be right now, right, Jeff? It's just hideous out there.
You just look
at that.
around and you just realize, man, every day is just like insane.
Yeah.
I should just be lounging on the beach and just relaxing.
It is nice.
But I just had a massive breakfast, and I woke up early and surfed cloud break and got barreled, so I think I might just go sleep.
I know. That's the way
tough
to do
options today
It is
in
really,
paradise.
I know. Tough to make those decisions.
Lay under the sand, on the sand under the coconut tree in this. It's hard to beat.
So
it's hard to beat.
Yeah, you think back to the 80s when those guys discovered this place. Mike Funk and Dave Clark, or is it Scott Funk? Oh my gosh, no, Mike Funk. And they discovered this place and they camped on this island. And they were the only two here, and they just surfed restaurants. They didn't even know Cloudbreak existed. And then I think one day maybe they took a boat out, or they could see it in the distance, and they then started surfing there too, because obviously this doesn't break every day.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the beginning of the whole idea to put a resort here. But now here we are in 2018, and just to give a quick intro, this is our Tavi tube tour for ebodyboarding.com 2018, our first year, and definitely not going to be our last year here in Tavarua Island Resort. And our guest of honor this year has been and continues to be Jeff Hubbard, who is a three-time world bodyboarding champion. And how many times at Pipe have you won?
5 times.
5-time Pipe champ. You always got to mention that because Pipe is such a formidable and famous wave, and to win at Pipe is a big honor. We all know Jeff for...
And we know Jay.
We know... Well, some of you may know me. And some
Well,
of
if
you
you're
older
included,
people.
if you're on the eBodyboarding Instagram, you probably know who Jay Reale
Or you're
is.
one of our customers. Thank you for that. But in any case, so Jeff, just to get into it, you're obviously now sort of CEO, CFO, and everything else for your company that you and your brother Dave started, which is Hubb Boards.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of different products. Talk about that.
We do, yeah. Hubb Boards has been around since 2013. Dave and I started in 2013, and we just started, just trying to make the best equipment we can that makes us surf better. So everything we do is basically geared around us trying to push our performance levels in the water. That's all it is. Like, okay, if I need a leash, I'm just trying to design the best leash I can that's gonna like stand up at Pipe or Tabarua or wherever. So we just keep working at our things. Oh, why do I want to make my board better? Okay, just keep working at it. And just if it needs improvement, or I need a better core, create the quad core. So I mean, it's just innovation by necessity. Like, okay, if things aren't working up to standards, you need to create something that does work out there.
Well, speaking of the quad core, it's a very high-end board, has a lot of tech in the board. Talk about the tech of the quad core.
Well, the tech of the quad core is pretty cool. We take a polypropylene blank and we cut it in half basically, and we put in a mesh suspension layer, so that's a mesh suspended by IXLPE and sandwiched, and then we take the top piece of the polypro that we just had and flip it over and place it over the mesh suspension, and then put that back onto the sandwich it in between the 2 layers of polypro, and then put mesh back onto the bottom of that, and then put our Surlyn skin and their deck skin on top of that. So we get all these layers combining, and it makes it just really strong, and has really good properties for speed, flex, and projection. For me, my favorite part of it is the projection I get off the bottom turns and going to the lip and off of the lip. So that's what has this. It's all this tension is built up in the board with the mesh and the stringers and all these layers. And so it's real dynamic.
Yeah, what I've noticed about that board, it's very thin, but still maintains a lot of stiffness. A lot of people, they think a thin board's going to buckle and be super flexible, but you've kind of made the right combination of materials to make that thing really thin, which makes it responsive and stiff at the same time. So
exactly.
And we've all seen what you do on the board, and of course Dave is how many 6-time drop knee champ?
I think he's like
more
8.
Than
he's
that?
8, and I think he's forgotten. I think he's 8. I know he's at 8.
He doesn't really care though. He just wins and grabs the trophy and moves on to the next year and wins it again.
Yeah.
So you bust these psychotically high aerials that most people think you should be basically have a live-in chiropractor to deal with. But how do you deal with these massive landings, and how's your body holding up? Two-part question.
First, body's holding up fine. You know, I do a lot of stretching every day. I stretch when most of the chances I get, and do a lot of core work.
Yeah.
So like, you know, do anything that's going to strengthen your core so your back is strong, because that's the main thing. When you land, you can hurt your back. So if you have a strong back, then you can kind of withstand a lot of the impacts. And so that's one of the things that another feature of the quad core is when you flip that top part of the PP over, that real brittle part that's hard, it's flipped over so it's softer on the deck. So you take that, you know, stiffness, and you just flip it over and put it on the inside, and the top part's softer now.
Okay.
So you can, you know, it's a softer deck, which is nice for landings.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy. Just a little bit of softness goes a long way.
Yeah.
And so you do those big airs, and yeah, you try not to get wrecked too hard. But I love going so high; it's hard not to just get so excited. And you know when to pull the pin. Like if you're going like 2,000 feet in the flats, and it's just like you're just gonna just explode anyhow. It's kind of, try not to. You'll bail, but most of the time, yeah, you look for the landing, and you'll do the right move so you can land nice and soft, or land on a transition, or land with a little bit of whitewater cushion.
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you a question. I've watched the videos of you hitting closeouts, and like, you know, back when I used to actually be crazy enough to try some of that stuff, I would always land super hard in the flats, but I see when you hit those inverts, you almost direct back the other way.
Yeah.
On the closeout airs, right? So you're not hitting it and launching ahead, you're sort of hitting it and inverting almost backwards so that you can land on the explosion cushion.
Exactly.
Is that right? Am
totally,
I right?
Yeah, exactly. So when you do an invert, I mean, one, you want to get inverted, so the more inverted you can get is like when you drive up to the lip and tweak it. If you keep tweaking it out, you'll end up kind of going back out. If you kind of go this way, you go out into the flats if you miss the transition. So either you go up, hit the transition, and that's safe. But if you go up and out, you want to like tweak back, like you said, and aim for. Hopefully, there'll be more of a chance of the whitewater hitting here, and you can land in a little bit of softer area. Yeah, the wave's gonna be more powerful.
Yeah.
But you'll hit a little softer patch for your landing, and then you can hold on, depending on how big the wave is. Hey, you know.
Worst injury from landing in air? Can you recall that?
I've broken ribs. I've done, tweaked my back. I've done a number of things, to my body, but I just.
And you're still going.
Yeah, I mean, it's just too much fun to stop. I love bodyboarding.
Yeah, so, Jeff is obviously keen. He's out at every session on this Tavi Tube Tour. He even took some hits on the reef. You probably can't see in the frame, but there's going to hold up. He took an ankle to the reef a couple of days ago. What happened there? That was just duck diving.
Yeah, right? I was just duck diving. I just got caught inside and tried to duck dive a wave. It's shish kebabs, and it just shish kebabbed me onto the reef. It just clawed me. Luckily, I had a little wetsuit on, so I didn't get cut too badly anywhere else, just minor, but this one was kind of a gaping wound that has to be
happens to the best of us.
Taped up. Yeah, I mean, hey, you go out and surf pumping cloud break, you're gonna pay the price at some point.
So let me ask you, we're just gonna kind of sew all this up and talk about the Tavi Tube Tour. Obviously, you're here with a lot of people who are fans of you, and some who are former pro bodyboarders. It's kind of an interesting and eclectic mix of people.
It is.
And how has it been for you so far? I mean,
I've had the best time. I mean, the people who are on the trip. I mean, if you come to Fiji, I don't think anyone's having a bad day. Everyone's so stoked and just happy to be on this, in paradise, basically. So there's always a smile on everyone's face. But out in the water, everyone's just, so stoked for each other. It's just such good boogie vibes because everyone's out there. Not very often there's a lot of bodyboarders get together and go on surf trips. So I mean, when you get to go on a surf trip with bodyboarders, it's just such a nice connection, and everyone's just psyched on each other. And regardless of skill level, you can see the guys trying to push it, and hey, maybe some guys don't do 360 so well, but you see them try, and or they can't do rolos, but they're trying, and everyone's having the best time they can, and it's just fun to just cheer everyone on.
Yep.
It's like everyone getting barreled and doing some moves and just having a blast in these perfect Tavarua barrels.
So right now we have a smaller day today. Today's Wednesday. We're here till Saturday, and a bigger swell on tap for later tomorrow into Friday and Saturday. So fun waves this morning, bigger waves ahead. You were mentioning you might even want to come out here when the next swell, which is Sunday, a really big one's going to hit, and charge it then, huh? Maybe thinking about that still?
Yeah, I mean, our flight doesn't leave till Sunday at 5.
Yes.
So that is a tight one, so I'd have to come out for the early morning Sunday.
Yes.
It just depends on the swell. I don't see why I wouldn't. I'll be on the mainland Fiji, and so maybe I think there's boats out here. You just got to pay someone off. Come out, take us out here. It's barely. I think I want to be out here. We'll see we'll see on the winds though. I mean, I have to look. I haven't looked at the forecast for Sunday specifically because I wasn't sure what the options were. Now that I know there's an option to surf, I will start looking again on Sunday.
All right. So
I try not to look at forecast. Oh, started going crazy.
So more waves ahead for us. You're going to see lots of pictures coming up over the next several weeks, even after we leave here, because we're going to get lots of shots from these guys here who've been taking pictures. And it's just been an amazing week so far, and we're going to finish it up with another swell. And we're looking forward to doing it again next year. But Jeff, we've been so stoked to have you on the Tavi Tube Tour, buddy.
Thanks so much, Jay.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
I mean, people are just so stoked to be on this island. I'm stoked to be here with them all.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we're glad to have you, and if you can come this year, you can see we're right here, and we'll be making announcements on our social media website when we're ready to book you for. Sure, don't keep tabs on all the guys there, social media wise, and sign up for our newsletter. We'll be sending out info.
Yep.
And from the beautiful Tavarua Island Resort here, overlooking restaurants, over and out, guys.
See you in Fiji next year.
All right. So that was live. I don't know if it worked, but
see if it
we're
worked.
Gonna save it.
Live. Did it still go to that quarter?
Still roll.
Amazing. I thought you would shut
Vicky's on the camera after me. I set it up on the truck. Hopefully that worked. Hopefully that was frame. All right, guys, we're going to go over and out. Restaurants, background. Have a afternoon, evening, morning, wherever in the world. Maybe Jackson, what's happening, buddy?
Steve.
Manny V Media says boom. Boom.